What's up, people of the world? Why are you back?
Hello.
It's them again.
Yeah, basically.
Fuck.
Anywho,
Oh, shoot.
thanks for coming back.
Wait.
So, who wants to do a
Okay.
recap of what happened last session?
We killed some goblins up in this bitch.
Oh, yeah.
Lead us to the goblins.
I went down. Smile.
And some giant dude showed up. I think that's...
Mostly.
Yeah, that's
And
basically
you
it.
were collapsing in the back of Grayson's cart. You're just like, "Hello, new people."
It
He-
was
Yep.
mostly just combat.
It was-
yeah.
Yes, he
It was
did
just new person.
mention that he'd been to the Velvet Room. Didn't get a whole lot out of him because it was suddenly nap time.
To my defense, Mo was not the first person to suggest resting. He was just the first person to support that idea.
You guys did not. I don't remember if you specified whether or not you were going to have a long or a short rest in the middle of the day.
I guess just whenever they wake me up.
Wake me up.
It had been discussed going after the one that got away, but there were others near here, and I'm pretty much completely out of stuff. So Orryn would have suggested taking a long rest before going after them if we were indeed going to go after them.
Platt, having thought over the fact that he was mostly almost dead and his friend was already dead, and the fact that he's running out of bullets, resends that idea.
Pretty much everyone's out of spells.
Resends that idea, and instead offers the idea of going to the city, coming back and murdering them.
Not a bad plan. Maybe there'll even be a bounty on it.
Did we do the dumb thing of burying all the ward corpses?
Yes. Yes, we did.
All
They
of
were
them?
also in
You
pain.
did
I
the-
think they're just in the spike pits.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Platt, you
a
did the
couple
thing
of
of
them.
pushing them into the spike
I
traps.
did not.
That
No,
was
I
a
didn't.
lot.
That was
That was
not.
not me.
It was
And it was
Amavasya.
only
My
2 of
apologies.
them.
Because
Yeah, okay.
I am going to go over to one of the works and
Alright,
very
there's
gently remove one of their heads.
A good what?
Gently.
Very, very gently. I see.
Very calmly, with great precision, remove a head.
With care, like, not in a rude way.
You know what? Give me a survival
Like I'm
check,
gonna say, excuse me first, and then I'm gonna cut their head off.
May I take your head, sir?
And
Wow.
also a goblin's.
Okay, well, there's
I think I see where you're going with this.
Because if we get to the city and there's a bounty on said goblin and warg back,
Oh.
we're going to want proof that we encountered and murdered goblin and warg back.
Good thinking.
And
Yeah,
I'm
give
going to get in character now. Sorry, I got something caught in my throat.
I'm gonna go chain smoke so I can do Grayson's voice real quick.
Let me just quickly smoke a pack a day for the last 20 years.
well, go ahead and give me a survival check to try and carefully remove the heads of the warg and the
Do I get advantage because
Goblin.
these are my favorite enemies?
for the warg, yes. For the
Whoa.
goblin, no.
I mean, just bring the whole goblin.
Yeah, actually, that's a
Yeah.
better idea. I'll just throw a goblin on the back of the goblin.
They're not large.
No, they're small, but they do smell pretty bad.
As goblins tend to do.
But yeah, go ahead and give me the. Oh yeah, I just saw it there. Yeah, no problem. You carefully remove the head of of a warg. No problem. It does not smell good, but it is now in your possession.
So I'm putting it on my cart where there's less people.
Just like 2 bear traps snap on it immediately.
No, it's bait for whatever comes to try to eat the smelly head.
Are you just tossing it on your cart?
Hmm?
Are you just
Yeah,
tossing
I'm
it
just
on your
putting
cart?
the head and I suppose a whole ass goblin.
Not a half
Sure.
goblin.
Just for the hell of it, roll a D100 for me.
Oh no.
Just
Come
for
here,
the hell of it.
Come here, new dice. I need you.
Dice!
Wow.
Every time.
Look at your table.
Every single time.
That is my new favorite thing, is reminding Payton that he's got real dice.
It's magical.
I just love him saying dice, and then I just hear what sounded like dice falling all over the floor.
Nah, they're in a
59.
plastic bag. It's great.
Payton, I'm gonna buy you an actual, like, real set of dice.
You
I've
go
been
on
thinking about it.
Amazon, they have
I kind of
giant
want to like
dice.
find like a nice custom set of dice and just be like, ooh, and then yoink it.
Chinese. The magical click clack.
59.
All right, cool. You don't hit anything important, and it just kind of rolls around in the back of the cart. Same with the goblin corpse. If you had rolled a 10 or lower, you would have broken something. Or maybe activated a trap.
You activated my trap.
Self-destruct activated.
What the?
Just distant.
That's a tactical nuke.
Same difference. I mean, when it comes to Platt's cart, sticking your hand in there, like it causes the same amount of damage to your person.
I mean, you're not wrong.
So wait, are we going north or south towards this town?
North.
Okay,
Northwest, kind of.
away from the big town.
Well, that's just because there's no town on the map. I just put the little town icon there to show that there actually is a town. But you're going up to Sonara City, which is the capital of this country, and you guys would know that it is the largest town in this country. So, what are you guys doing? One
Crying.
person's decapitating a wolf or warg. What's everybody else up to other than the sleeping guy?
Jasnah's
sleep.
gonna just be kind of a little bit confused because she is not used to this particular like sort of thing. And the last time they killed bandits, he didn't do this. So,
Yeah, all the ones that were killed by the gravity spell,
they're a mess, I'm sure.
they are a mess. They are crushed up. It is
But
quite gruesome.
she's gonna come up to Platt and, standing up very straight and has her hands clasped behind her back and just sort of watching him hack the head off of this thing. And he's like, just what? Why are you dismantling this wolf?
Proof. As he's really, really good at dismantling this wolf. Like, really studied. Everywhere he cuts, he knows exactly where to cut, where to put the knife, and apply pressure to break the neck so that it's easier to cut through.
It's very uncomfortable.
Proof?
Grayson just hears a nope.
He's had to listen to that more than once, and he is not a fan of it.
Yeah, proof. These These ain't wolves. They're wargs. They're not. They're monsters. They're not beasts. They don't exist here by nature.
See
A
what?
lot of times, and he continues to cut and remove the head. There we go. A lot of times, places nearby, when they have infestations of monsters, they'll have bounties set for them. Or a need for someone to come clear them out. And wargs, especially with goblins, he puts it in this cart, are a particularly nasty combination. Goblins like to raise wargs, but they don't do a particularly good job of doing it. A lot of them get free. A lot of them run around and start attacking people. Then you have a massive infestation. So, we go to town. Maybe there's someone looking to pay for clearing them out. Now we have proof that we did some clearing.
I understand. Good thinking.
Mm-hmm.
No, you've done this far longer than I have.
You learn to pick up odd jobs when you're a courier.
Why only do one thing when you can do 3 or 4 at the same place?
The entire time they're talking, Amavasya is just going to be like staring in a way that isn't like kind of focused on what they're doing, but also just kind of like off in the distance.
Goblins are outright nasty things. They use all sorts of beasts, monsters, anything that they can keep under their control, even for a short time, to harass people, to attack people. I've seen villages go down to this sort of thing. Whole towns just wiped out. Plops the goblin on the cart. All right, I'm set.
Merton's actually gonna chime in a little bit. Yeah, goblins are not the greatest creatures around here, but I will let you know. Clearly, I haven't spent too much time in Cenarian. Probably good for you, but not likely going to get any bounties from any of the authorities in the town. They're not exactly too keen on helping others in any way whatsoever.
In fact, the more chaos that goes on, the better it is for the underground, because that means they're controlling. The more loss of goods due to attacks means that the underground is controlling more supply.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But should bring it by my guild hall. They take care of more bounties and stuff. Honestly, they do a better job of clearing out monsters and filth than the town guard. To be totally honest.
Should we take proof of how many we killed then, or would your word be accepted?
They normally pay by the ear. If I left before checking the board for any clearing out quests, but maybe there's a new one now. I wouldn't be too sure, but I mean, it's worth a shot.
Platt hears that and looks back at the mangled pile of gravity-crushed corpses. Nope.
Yeah, that would be a
That's too
problem.
much for me.
I mean, this seems like a small group, so there's definitely going to be more around. So we can definitely check, and there might be a clear contract out on them.
So that's turning his attention to the front of the cart here, like just with the thought of there being more of them.
Hmm.
He looks back at the head. Your trophy. He pats it on the head, and then he
Its tongue
walks
just
over.
kind of falls out a little bit and lifts off to the side.
They'll fight a taxidermist. Then he starts walking to find like a really long stick.
Just
I have an idea. Might not be useful at all, and I hope it's not, but I have an idea. He just goes out to try to find like a really like sturdy long branch of some tree that he can get a hold of.
What sort of idea?
Something that will let us search the ground before us as our horses are coming through.
Not a bad plan.
They're not the most intelligent creatures. Something tells me that they will try to use the same trick twice.
Hmm.
Would you like some assistance?
Sure. And he's going to try to find a very long stick that he can attach one of the meat hooks he has to.
Yeah, it's a forest. You can find a stick, no problem.
So he's going to attach the meat hook to the front of it, as well as wrap chain around the front of it, so it's got a lot of weight on that side. And he'll just walk over to the front to Grayson's horse, and in front of him, he'll just lift the stick and then let it drop so that the spike that's now on the front hits the ground.
Hmm.
If there is a pitfall, that will go deeper.
I'll
Okay.
make sure to pay attention to it.
Hopefully, and if I'm right, it will knock the ground down and the pit will open.
Well, it definitely can't hurt to try.
They actually use something like this to sweep for mines.
Hey, if it work.
You would take a long stick with a weight on the front and just sweep it across the ground in front of you. And if it hit a mine, the mine would go off.
And hopefully you'd be just far enough away.
You would be. It's a 10-foot pole.
Ah, I see.
It may not save you from the heart attack if the world just blowing up all of a sudden, but
I mean, I'll take a other than a oh no, both of my legs are now gone.
definitely.
Fair.
Or, oh
fair.
no, why are there pearly white gates here now?
I don't remember having these wings. Or worse, why am I falling? Why is it getting hot?
Why is everything on fire? I got so morbid so fast.
So Platt will just use his minesweeper.
So I didn't kill all of them with gravity, so we can collect at least a few ears.
Well, theoretically, even the crushed ones still have ears.
I ain't going through that pile of crush. Do you want to go through that pile of goo?
Are they literally just goo piles?
I'm kind of imagining just
A
like
couple of them
a
are.
ball.
One of them is the one with all the. Let's see, how many of them are in there? With the
Just
2 wargs and the 2 goblins, yeah, that is just a flesh ball.
I imagine it went from solid matter to gelatinous cube real quickly.
I mean, we could like take some cylinders and like collect as much as possible, and then get another like separate goblin and like just condense him, and then use that as like our model goblin of how much goblin it takes to fill a cylinder, and then present these cylinders for coins.
Just do it by weight. Yeah.
I have to present to you Can O Goblin.
Do you like
Oh
goblins but hate how they're in solid form? Do I have the product for you?
Do you hate goblins? Do you really wish
They're
they
merchants,
were more
you can
affordable?
sell it.
Do you just really fucking hate them?
Presenting
God
Goblin in a
damn.
can. And thus we invented bread in a can.
I thought you were gonna say, and thus we invented spam.
Oh,
Oh fuck.
oh, that's so dark. Oh, it's so dark. The other
It'll be the
way.
next big thing. Mystery meats. I'll sell it in any city.
We'll sell it to high schools. We'll be rich.
You need to invest in troll because it'll keep regenerating.
You have to cook it real quickly. If it starts to
I
speak
might
to
already
you,
have
just,
something
just
for that.
if it starts to speak again, just flip it over. It'll be fine. Discord, please stop sending me invitations to your birthday.
No.
So, question about the interaction. Oh, my Discord's acting shit. Am I coming through?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, cool. Thank you. It just like froze on my screen, and I was like, I don't see a circle.
Ooh.
So was any of the asking about going through the mush pile said in character, or was it just player chat?
There
Platt said
was-
he would not.
I'm good.
It was questioned whether or not to do so, and if so, who was gonna do it? Because it's like a pot. It's like a ball of body bits, essentially.
Because it's also
would it be worth
probably
it?
sharp in there, because bones don't break cleanly. They
Oh,
break
fuck.
in jagged points.
Yeah, but my question is, was that discussion in character or out of character?
Probably in character.
In character.
It was probably in character.
Okay,
the meat
in that
can
case,
part, not. But
Amavasya is just going to blank face and go over and try to do it.
You're gonna try and search through the pile to get goblin ears?
Yeah.
Orryn will suggest that maybe you can try that with your mage hand.
Merton will pipe up. They only take the left ears just so people can't cheat them.
Oh,
There's
good.
just a
You
nod.
have to find left ears in the pile of mush. Like,
Just
there's
kind of
a
shrugs like guild policy.
look. Platt's
Yeah,
not
no,
going
it's
in
not
there
that.
because there's a whole lot of soft body parts that could be ears that he doesn't want to find out aren't ears when he's grabbing them.
Especially being of a species without.
You know, when I became a Dunamancer, it wasn't my intention to make everything much more gross.
Well,
Sometimes it just happens though.
It's just the nature of
me,
the
not Orryn.
spell. Don't blame we don't blame you. It's just the spell. So you're still gonna
Also-
go in and try and pick out some left ears
Yeah, with my paws and mage paw.
with your paws and mage paw.
Yeah.
All
Gotta
right.
get real deep in that.
Give me a survival check.
And plus 0, 15.
Okay, you do not manage to inject yourself with some sort of new goblin disease.
That's
You do manage to get 3 ears, 2 goblin and 1 warg. The last one, you just
Can't find it.
It's probably not worth it. You're not even sure how much they pay per ear.
So
Might
how
even
much? How many did we get that were not from the ball? I
well,
forget
let's
how many we
see.
fought.
This one was shattered and frozen from ice.
I can't
Uh,
see
the
which one
map
you're pointing at.
screen.
We're on the major map.
Oh, right.
We're on the
I
big
forgot
map.
I moved you over there. All right. This one was shattered and frozen to ice. These
You can grab a earsicle.
like shattered. These two were solo in wait, no. One of them was solo in a graviton thing, so I would say that one is completely goop.
Liquidized.
But the rest, so 1, 2, 3, 4 goblin ears and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 warg ears.
Is that including the head that Platt has?
Yes. For
4
both the
warg
warg
ears, he's
and
not
the
letting-
Is
He
is
wants
that
this one
also
back.
including the ones that you managed to get from the
from the ball, yes.
Okay.
He doesn't. Platt
I'm sorry,
doesn't let
how
you
many
guys take an ear
goblins
from
was
his.
it?
4
I-
goblin ears.
So that was 4 total.
Yes, 4 goblin ears total and 5 warg ears total.
For
Alright,
Platt
cool.
wants to keep the head whole.
So
Noted,
only
okay.
5 warg ears total. What about the goblin you threw in the back of your
No, that one's fine.
cart? All right, then yeah. So 4
Platt
and 4
throws
for
him back out because we don't need him.
It's been a while that you guys have been discussing this, and the bodies have. Well, they've released their bowels at this point, so they are all smelling terrible.
Yeah, after de-earing the pile, Amavasya is just gonna head back over to the cart, just still blank-faced again, and just drop them.
I feel like with the
And then we'll
amount of them
proceed
that
to
are
hop
just
into the cart.
Yeah,
the
you
amount
kind
of
of
them
look
that are
down.
just pancakes, I feel like they've already been boweled.
Oh yeah, the ones
They
in the
are all
pile are
boweled.
already boweled, but
They are
yeah,
nothing
all
but
of us
bowels.
is
at
you
this
look
point.
down at your hands and your paws with all the fur now caked in the gore.
Press the
Like, you were
digitate.
digging in there.
Press the
Digitation
digitate.
several
Press the
times.
digitate. Yes. Got a couple people like,
Um,
nope.
Also, DM, quick point, which I hadn't really read. The magnified gravity doesn't draw them towards the center; it just draws them down really hard.
Oh, so they're all just
Huh.
pancakes.
Yeah, so they're all pancakes. The one drawing them towards the
Okay.
center is a higher level one.
That one's a bitch.
Okay.
Huh.
I
So
will
these
try- I
goblins
will-
are alive again.
What I'm going to say is, for the sake of brevity, I will keep that in a note for next time. For this
Yep.
time,
Yep.
for flavor, that's happened.
Everybody roll for initiative.
A lot of like spinal cord jutting out of skin.
Fuck it, ancient dragon.
You know, sometimes you just gotta do that. You know, fuck it. Time for an ancient
Nah. I've only done that once.
You've done that before.
Anywho, the players were murder hobos. They deserved it. Don't worry.
I respect that.
Anywho, you guys have collected your ears. What are you doing now? Are you heading off? You got an unconscious cow dude in the back of one of your carts who's just spread eagle.
Is
The
our
book is
short
the-
rest over?
Was it stated that Big Cow Friend was going to come with us, or are we going to kidnap him while he's sleeping?
I don't know if it's considered kidnapping if they walk into your cart and fall asleep in your cart.
It was kind of his choice.
Also, does he wake up at all during the short rest? Or
I
is
do
he just
not.
out this entire time?
Just out.
Well, then, after an hour of you guys just kind of taking a breather after cleaning Amavasya up and getting your ears and whatnot, you've rested for a while and you can spend any hit dice you like. You're all level 4 now.
And
What
I
do?
did resummon Moirai.
Correct? Mark off the
Oh, that's good.
incense.
Yep. I have none now.
That's not good.
I got my spells back. Having only 2 spell
Warlocks.
slots.
Rub it in, why don't you?
Hey, you got your
fair,
arcane
You have
whatever.
more than double mine.
What's it called?
Arcane recovery.
Which
Yeah,
I did
that thing.
use.
Oh yeah, you used it. I think you used it during the night to recover spells when you stayed up
Nope.
late.
I hadn't used any spells at that point, I don't think. I'd only used a bunch of my luck
Luck.
points and stuff.
All your luck and stuff.
Yeah, all my luck.
So
And
what do you
one of
guys?
my chronal shifts. Yeah.
What are you doing now?
Crying.
That hard, was it?
Onwards.
Not the way you said. And Platt will, instead of walking next to his cart, he'll just tap his donkey. Come on, girl. And pat it on the head, and then take point at the side of Grayson's horse and start using his makeshift mine detector / pitfall trap detector to just tap the road.
Alrighty then, you guys continue on throughout the woods. They get a bit thicker, a bit further in, more trees, less rocks. Still
And I
a
am on
pretty
high
nice
fucking
day.
alert.
Good to know. Give me a perception check.
Give me a real dice. Trust roll 20. Gave me one good roll, and it's the only one I'll have.
Accurate.
Good. Soft 20.
All right. You're looking around. You are on high alert. You do not see any traps, any ambushes set before you. It's getting toward evening, and you see what looks to be the remains. Like, you turn around a corner, and you see what looks like the remains of an activated trap and a bit of an encounter. There's blood on the ground, but you do like it looks like there was a struggle, but you do not see any corpses or anything left behind. Like, there was clearly combat that happened here, but there's nothing left other than the traps that seem to be triggered.
What do the traps look like?
More pitfalls, and a log swing that looks like it's had smashed into something.
Hmm.
As we get close to it, and I'll just look down the pit and see if there's anything in it.
Just spikes and what looks to be blood and something you'd rather not describe on the pipes, on the spikes. But aside from that, no bodies, no useful items.
Well, I did mention they would use the same trick twice. Looks like someone else fell into it.
Well, you guys continue onward, and just as the sun is beginning to set, you reach the other side of the woods. The fields look to be well maintained. Currently, they are wheat fields on either side of the road. Just a few slight hills, nothing major. Like you can still see her clearly for a fair distance. And you think maybe an hour, 2 hours down the road, you can actually see what looks to be a number of possibly wagons. You're not, like it's hard to tell from this distance, but you definitely see something that is not part of the natural landscape off in the distance.
Hmm.
I will dismantle my trap sweeper and put the stuff back in your heart.
All
We'll put the
right,
stick back in the
duly
woods.
noted. The sun is
It's getting
setting. Are
on
you guys?
toward night, you said?
Yeah, the sun is setting currently. Like, you got maybe an hour left of light, if that. What do you guys do?
Probably
Sorry.
prefer
Did we stop?
I was gonna say Jasnah will probably like default to Platt when it comes to when like Platt and Grayson as to like when they feel it's a safe place to stop. Since they have made a living out of this.
From turns to
Generally-
Grayson and Platt. Grayson turns to Platt.
Generally, safety in numbers. And I think there's big carts over there. Means it's a lot of folk resting up for the eve. How far away do those carts look?
Looks to be hour and a half, 2 hours. So 90 to 120 minutes.
Come on, let's keep going. We'll make a respectable distance, but just keep an eye line of those other carts.
Right.
All right, you guys continue on.
And Platt
After
will
an
actually take
hour.
out, at that point, a torch and light it.
Okay.
Or, I don't have a torch. Someone give me a torch.
Grayson will make your shield or whatever, your gun or whatever you're holding, glow with light.
On a natural flame, not a magic one.
Then if you voice that, he won't do it.
He I'm looking for a natural light so we don't startle them.
And he will not do that.
Not to sound like I haven't been paying attention, but what are we doing?
Good morning, princess.
My name is Mo.
Right. Good morning, Mo.
Or good evening.
Good evening. Care to explain why you just decided to hop into my cart?
Yes. They said it was time to sleep.
So you just picked my cart without knowing who I am or anything about us?
Well, I was told to find you.
Platt's going to light the torch and just walk along with Grayson's cart. And just very slowly as he's walking, just wave it back and forth. Very slowly.
So you're like trying to signal to this other.
Not so
cart
much
with-
signal, but like any guards they may have around them. Just, hi, we're here. We're walking towards you.
Please don't hurt us.
Amavasya is going to
Okay.
be really alert the entire time we're getting closer to this supposed caravan, and we'll be really watching and listening to everyone's surroundings.
And
I'm going-
hiding my gun in my shell.
I'm going to
Putting it hiding.
produce flame into my hand and then use thaumaturgy to turn it green.
All of a sudden, just
Okay.
ooh.
Okay. You
I
have
am-
a green flame.
I'm looking. Platt is so like. That's not. He's just like looking at Grayson, like, just, what is this?
Just a big old shrug.
What did we find?
Apparently Igor sent him.
Let's not produce unnaturally colored flame while walking up to a group that we do not know.
Oh, okay. He'll just change it back to a normal color flame.
Hell, close enough.
Amavasya is going to lean in to Mo. How did you change the color of the flame?
Mo will slowly look back at Amavasya and he'll just sit there and be like, well, I met a squirrel that gave me powers.
A squirrel?
Explanation
Really?
complete.
Well, it was a god that was looking like a squirrel.
Right.
Does Amavasya know of any religions where there's a squirrel deity? Or a deity that appears as a squirrel?
Sure, give me a religion check.
Might I also roll that based on Grayson's religion
Sure.
and belief?
History.
If you need me to make some stuff up really quick, I can.
Do I have religion?
15 total.
Please do. 15
that-
total?
Yes.
Was that to me?
13?
Please do.
Yes.
Okay.
Remember,
I want you
anything
guys
that
to
comes
make
out
your
of your
own
mouth right now
gods.
is canon.
Oh man. So yeah. So no. Wazel is the god of a god, I should say, of nature and celebration and balance. He, is represented. Well, his avatar is represented as a giant squirrel, and he himself is just kind of embodied by a giant tree that is known to Mo as the world tree. It's, super original, I know. But he is not a major deity. He is very much a minor deity, but just the one that Mo happened to come across while he was in the forest one day, and the one that he decided to follow because he was, quote, pretty chill.
All right. Could you put in the chat how to spell the name?
Oh yes, I have it written down somewhere around here. I think it's that.
Thank you.
I mean, I guess since I made him up, it could be whatever I want. But
Yeah, that's totally fair.
Wazel, the god of good vibes.
yeah, you nailed it.
All right, that's what I'm putting in my notebook as now.
Payton writing down God of the dank Kush.
Go to that good shit.
Just wait till I get plant growth.
My Weasel, my guy.
My dude.
So that's...
Our holy day is Wednesday.
Hump day.
It's Wednesday.
So you worship Weasley, you said? Is that who you're referring to?
Yeah. We just met while I was sleeping one day, and then he threw a party, not for me. And then his brother attacked him at the party, and he stabbed me. And then Wazel brought me back to life, and then he made me a cleric. And I don't really know what that means.
I feel like that first rendition of you just met a squirrel was a little bit short on details.
Yeah. It took a lot of energy to say that.
Oh boy.
Amavasya just like instinctively reaches out a paw and just pat on Mo's
It
head.
is covered in gore.
They use per the word I still can't pronounce.
Prestidigitation on her. She got attacked
We both used it repeatedly.
They use dry cleaning.
on two sides.
Oh, I have it too. Oh, shit. We got so
Every
much
caster has prestidigitation.
Who the fuck doesn't take it?
It is
No.
the best
The spell.
The cough, I never take it.
That and mending, that's all I want in real life.
Yes. Actually, Unseen Servant.
Unseen Servant is the lazy person's favorite spell.
You're right. I don't know why I didn't give that to Mo.
Just have him have your servant roll a joint for you.
Hey, at level 8, you could either multiclass, or at level 8 you could take magic initiative again and just,
Wizard.
get another.
But,
Get all the cantrips.
But
Moving right along, you guys continue down the road,
So
and after another 40.
Oh. No, continue.
After another 45 minutes, you guys have rolled up on what looks to be a number of wagons turned into a circle around a fire.
So as they were getting close, Platt would start to sing. He's not good at it, but he is making noise that is non-threatening to inform anyone watching. Hi, we're here. He's very good on just making his presence known to these people so they don't shoot him.
Oh, so we want to make our presence known.
Yeah,
Great.
that's why he's been waving the
In
torch
a
as they've been walking.
non-threatening manner.
I will
In a
use
very non-threatening manner.
thaumaturgy to boom his voice 3 times as loud as
Oh,
normal.
please no.
Okay.
Mo has never been to civilization. I want you guys to know that.
That is rapidly becoming clear.
That
Explains so much.
that was obvious when you made the green fire.
It looked cooler that way.
So yeah, you do that, and that happens. Platt, you said you're a bad singer.
He's not great.
Oh.
I've got a charisma of 10.
All right, just give me a performance check then.
Oh.
Can I
I'd
give
assist, but
him
I'm not sure it
assist
would give
with
you
that?
advantage.
Grayson's
are
pretty
you
good at singing.
assisting?
He could try.
by booming his voice?
I don't think that actually assists.
I can also beatbox.
That's not helpful.
Could
Singing a
Amavasya,
sea shanty, I don't know if that works.
in that case, could Amavasya assist? Given
How
their
are you
background?
assisting?
If they know the song, they will sing the song as if they were singing to dusk.
Well, I have to find a song now. Now I'm committing to this.
Grayson has
You're gonna
probably had
sing
plenty of
the Platt
experience
voice.
singing alongside with Platt. So
I can send you a list of my favorite sea shanties.
Where is my goddamn
Okay, so his voice is currently booming thanks to the thaumaturgy.
if my wait, you used it on my voice?
Yes.
I would have stopped immediately if I heard my voice get suddenly louder.
Like you finish 2 words and then boom.
Ah!
I still need that performance check for the first.
I rolled an 18. So 18.
Okay, good to know. So you immediately you feel like you're going to be on your game tonight, and you start to sing, and boom.
Indiana gave up. Nope.
Feedback in the microphone.
Sorry,
Basically.
I'll move that away further next time.
Oh, I was making a joke about the singing.
Oh, okay.
Plus just like keeping his mouth shut as tight as possible and staring at Grayson to help.
he'll turn to Mo and just Mo. I do appreciate your desire to help. It's great, but shouting and scanning the people we're trying to gently let know we're coming in peace isn't a great way to do it. So if you could make my friend here's voice go back to normal, it could be beneficial.
Okay. Okay.
At this
The
point-
thaumaturgy will go away. And Mo is going to mutter to himself, "These people don't make any sense."
At this point, I'm sure that the other people are looking at us.
Well, we certainly got their attention.
You do see what looks to be 2 figures just standing out by one of the openings of the cart closest to or the wagon circle closest to the road, but they don't appear to like you. Looking at them, they have like weapons at their hips, but they don't appear to have them up or raised. They're just kind of leaning against the carts, just kind of looking over at you. Platt, you can definitely see this. They appear to be smirking and just kind of chuckling to each other.
Jasnah, you want to come with me? Grayson, can you pull the carts alongside?
Of course.
Jasnah will hop down.
Amavasya is going to instinctively follow Jasnah.
Mo is going to just stay where he is until somebody tells him what to do.
Amavasya, stay with the carts for a little bit. I'm just going over to ask them if we can join their circle if they want us outside.
There's like a narrowing of the eyes and looks over to Jasnah.
And she nods. It'll be fine.
We don't want to approach as the entire group. They might think we're bandits. Especially if they came the way we just came.
They'll just nod and return to the cart.
And
To be fair, a bunch of bandits would probably be a little more quiet than us.
We've been attacked by weird.
Either a little bit more quiet or much louder.
Exactly.
You point.
Platt will start walking over to those two guards.
You approach. They appear to be fairly well dressed.
One hand has the torch up, the other one is very clearly out to the side, away from any of his weapons, away from his shell. Just making sure that they know he's not coming in armed.
Jasnah follows suit and make sure both her hands are visible.
There appears to be like I don't want to say tiki torches, but something kind of similar, but with a torch at the end.
Standing
Not
torches.
a tiki torch. Around at each of the intervals interspersed between the wagons, so you can see the two of these figures quite clearly. One appears to be a male half-orc. His sleeves are rolled back. He appears to be middle-aged, but he has a weapon at his side. Again, he doesn't have it to hand. He's just kind of looking over at his other friend there and just kind of chuckling and laughing with him and kind of thumbing over to you guys. And the other appears to be a green-scaled Dragonborn, also male, also with a weapon at his side, also well-dressed. Well, not like nobly well-dressed, but like decently dressed. How about that? The two of them see you guys approaching and they kind of just cough a little bit and try cover up their snickering and look up. The half-orc speaks up. There's no need for that, friend. You look skittish. Like we're shoot you out of nowhere.
Before. I'm just being cautious, and Platt will lower himself down. Good evening, gentlemen.
Evening to you.
We just came out from the forest over there, and there is one hell of a goblin problem. So you'll have to forgive us if we're a little jumpy right now.
Fair enough. The little snappers aren't the most friendly of individuals, but it's
Not
good to see that you
anything
made it out
anymore.
alive. Well, that makes the road clear for us, as the two of them share a look and just kind of give each other a smile. Means less work for us, then.
Be careful, the little bastards dug plenty of holes.
Don't worry, we've dealt with those kind before.
Just
And,
pass along the information.
The Dragonborn kind of pipes up. Yeah, it's not the first time we've had to deal with those inconveniences.
Fair enough.
Probably won't be the last either.
We're just looking to make camp just around here.
You
Strength
fellas want to
numbers and
join
all that.
us?
If you'll have us,
We would
happy
be
to.
greatly appreciative.
No problem at all. We'd have to double check with Orryn, but I'm sure he'd be more than happy to have more join the company for the night. Please come in, come in. You can have your friends come on by as well.
Platt will turn and just wave the torch to motion Grayson to bring the carts closer.
Grayson will follow the signal. Start moving up.
And then Platt will turn, look to Jasnah. Ladies first.
And she'll nod. Head over.
Craig will, or not, you don't know his name, fuck. The half-orc will stay there. But the Dragonborn will kind of wave you guys to follow him, and he'll head into the circle of wagons, all of which are like covered wagons and fairly big. Now that you're closer, it seems a number of them are actually fairly well colored and like definitely to you, Platt, they do not look like merchants from what you can tell.
Mm-hmm.
On the inside of the caravan, there appear to be a number of other individuals. Some kids are even running around playing with a weird hoop with a stick. There is music, though, and I will quickly change to that. As two individuals are playing some music, while another is just appears to be juggling daggers off on one of the sides. There appears to be two campfires, one of which appears to be currently occupied for cooking, and the other has, well, the entertainers playing away next to it. As you guys enter, a human, clean shaven, brown hair, comes up and greets the two of you. I guess we have some guests. Sean, is there any others, or is it just these two? There's some more outside. I didn't catch your names. What were they?
I'm Platt, a courier from these lands. Platt will bow his head.
My name's Jasnah, and I am traveling with Platt for the time being, and our companions will be here shortly.
Well, these are Platt and Jasnah. Orryn, we invited them to join us for the night, seeing as they're traveling. And a big grin pops across Orryn's face. It's like, of course, more the merrier. Please, welcome, welcome. Have a seat. And he just, like, there's a number of stumps set up around one of the fires. And he gestures for you guys to sit. By this point, the rest of you have been shown in by the half-orc by the door, or by one of the entrances, and points to the rest of your friends further in. He gives you all a nice smile as you enter.
What's your name? What's your call from the cart?
Greg. Good to meet you, little furry person. Haven't met one of your kind before.
Name's Amavasya, and I'm a Tabaxi. Just fluff the fur.
He kind of gives a smile and gives a half bow. Well, I'm Greg. I'm the half-orc.
I am Craig the Craig.
Basically.
Doyle rules.
Orryn sits down with your other two companions as you guys enter the circle. They appear, Craig and the Green Dragonborn Sean appear to move two of the caravans to make room for your carts to enter the circle as well. But Orryn is gesturing or flagging the rest of you down to come sit. Please, please, have a seat. Take a load off. Our fire is your fire.
Mo
Don't
will
mind if I do.
go over to sit. What are they sitting on?
Stumps.
Okay. Then yes, I believe Mo can sit on that.
Well, if my friends hadn't introduced me before, my name is Orryn. I'm well, I guess I'm the head of this merry family here. Who are all of you?
Hello, I'm Mo.
Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
My name's Grayson Aldenpaw. Might have heard of me. He'll kind of give like a smug grin.
I can't say I have, but
Smug grin drops.
Someone keeping a tally on how many people have not heard of Grayson before.
Starting now. 1.
sorry about that, friend.
More popular down to the south.
Fair enough. We haven't headed south yet, which is actually where we're heading now. Oh, and you he looks over to you, Amavasya. Hold on. He's snapping his fingers, trying to recall something. I've heard of your kind, Tabaxi, correct?
Just nods once. Yes.
He slaps his knee. Knew it! Sorry, I've never actually seen one of your kind before, but I've heard of your kind is quite the interesting bunch. Very capable.
Many of us certainly are. Nice to meet you. I'm Amavasya.
And I'm Orryn.
And I'm Mo.
Yes, Mo, we've already met.
Oh, sorry,
And you could start with the beard.
Mo.
He's looking at Orryn.
Name of Orryn. This is Moire. Pet the cat.
What are they called again? Hold on a sec.
I
It's only
have
blanking.
totally forgotten.
What is your cat?
Familiar?
No,
No,
the
specific
like the
type.
name of its
The
kind.
flying
Julie.
cat.
Yeah,
my brain farting entirely.
yeah, same.
Pretty much. Tressum.
There we go.
Tressum. Huh. It has been a long time since I've seen a Tressum boy. It's quite rare.
Is that what that is?
That's
kinda
fair.
looks
No
like
one
you-
ever asked.
You've been traveling with him all this time, and you haven't simply asked about, the flying cat?
Hell, I just thought it was a flying cat.
I didn't know it was real.
Called it more, and that was enough I needed to know.
And probably at this point, Philly would kind of like appear, maybe
We
on.
prank it, bro?
Not yet. Maybe not yet.
Now, that is an interesting creature I have never seen before.
Yeah, I'm kind of special like that.
And it speaks, even more impressive.
And similarly to Grayson, she just also holds her head very high.
Less impressive than the cat. Head drops as well.
Well, from what I know, Jessam's don't speak, and I have never seen a flying horse that speaks. This is quite new to me. I am interested.
She's a bit more like a deer, I think.
Somewhere in between.
Fair enough. But, pardon my manners. Let me introduce you to the rest of the family. And he'll get up and head over to the woman who appears to be cooking on the other fire. This is my lovely wife. Her name is Dira.
Hello, I'm Mo.
Pleasure to meet you.
Dira appears to be a half-elven woman. Sandy blonde hair. Seems to be, looks over and gives you all a quick smile. It's good to meet you all. Dinner should be done fairly soon. Hope you all have a good appetite. I just have to keep an eye on it so it doesn't burn. And she quickly turns back. Yeah, she's...
Nice to meet you, madam.
She'll come join us when everything's done. She drew the short straw tonight. Lucky for all of you, I am a terrible cook. Anyways, over there is our son, Bran. And you see the little... You see, he has slightly pointed ears, but not quite. He appears to be like quarter elf. That is our son, Bran. He is standing over by the musicians, and it seems that one of them is trying to teach him how to play the instrument that he's currently holding. I am currently blanking on what it was.
A lute.
No, flute, not lute.
Ah.
But yes, that is our son, Bran. And our daughter, M, over there is... Well, she wants to learn how to juggle, but sadly she's not too good, as she's standing near the knife juggler, but she has like bags, but she appears to be able to toss two and then promptly drops both of them.
Honestly, same.
But she, despite that, she continues to keep picking them up and trying to juggle. Well, she's a resilient one. I'm sure she'll get it eventually.
Practice makes perfect, as they say.
True, and she only just started. And the rest of the merry band who has joined us is Jarrus there. It appears to be an elven male. He appears to be singing. He has quite flamboyant clothes, very, very colorful.
What was that last name?
Jarrus. You can see I'm putting them all in the NPCs area.
NPCs. Okay.
Sophie is the dwarf playing the flute. And lastly, over there is Horace. He is our juggler and knife thrower. And looks like an older human male. Very, like, long beard. But you think that, like, the beard would be getting in the way with how long and big and bushy it is, but it apparently isn't. With his juggling that he appears to be practicing and trying to show little M how to work it. And you've already met Craig. He's not... Well, he's more of the muscle in this merry band. He does some strongman tricks, but he's actually... He won't admit this, but he's actually quite the fine wood whittler. It's kind of quiet hobby he keeps. And last but not least, you've also already met Sean. He's our Sean player. And he gestures to the green Dragonborn.
Quite the merry band you got.
Jasnah's
Yeah.
quiet, but she seems delighted by this entire situation.
Well, we're just one family. Anyways, please have a seat. Oh, you're already sitting. Can I get you all some wine to drink for this evening?
Amavasya's hand just shoots up.
Platt and Grayson,
Mhm.
go ahead and give me history checks. Being you two are the ones who have been on the road the most, I believe.
Water will do just fine.
14.
15.
All right, Grayson, you've heard of this tradition, and you've heard of this type of group. They are known as the Adimaru. They have a mixed bag of stereotypes. In layman's terms, they're kind of thought of as gypsies.
Okay.
They traveling performers. They have there's a number of different groups, but they're known for kind of thieving and pickpocketing. But they do have a tradition of they're very welcoming to others, but when they offer wine, insist on water to show that you are a friend.
Gotcha. Yeah. Grayson will kind of smile and just be like, "Oh, you've already offered us so much already. I'll take just some water, thank you."
No, please. We insist. It is no trouble whatsoever. Please. We have plenty. We're happy to share.
Platt's looking over at Grayson, who's never one to deny a drink and immediately understands. Nah, we'll just take water. That's fine. We don't want you to waste the good stuff on us.
Amavasya does not understand. It's just like, what?
Platt's just nodding his head very slowly.
Grayson's got a bit of a, not like a strained smile, but like kind of forced. Not really. Just like he's gonna try and make it look like he's doing this very much on purpose. Maybe shoot a look at Amavasya, whose hand was up.
Just lowers.
Are you sure? We deeply insist. Please, it's no trouble at all. Like we have plenty, more than enough to go round.
We've got a long day of traveling, bit of traveling tomorrow, so we'd all best keep our clear heads for the morning. The offer is appreciated, though.
He kind of looks. For a moment, he looks quite hurt for you denying his very gracious offer, but then kind of grin and a smile breaks across. And it's like, well, either you've met some of our kin or you know our ways very well. Well, definitely welcome, friends. We'll go get the wine. He gives you a wink and heads off.
And does Grayson
I will
hope
just
so that they can
lean-
now actually trust them, or or to continue to?
I will just lean over to Grayson. We keep our valuables close. All that. Just
Alright.
whispered to him.
Amavasya's gonna now turn to Platt and Grayson and just kind of like not click their tongue, but like, you know that mouth sound you make when like your mouth is dry and you're like, I'm thirsty. Well, they're gonna do that and be like, so why? I can't get in the character. So why no wine?
Not here.
not from them.
We'll be safe for the night and fine with them. Just
Well, from what
follow our lead.
just out of character, from what he said, I think it was fine to have wine after he brought it. We just had to refuse initially when he offered it. Is that right?
Yes.
Maybe? I don't know.
Was I misunderstanding?
No, you got it exactly right. Like, refuse at first.
2 or
Intently.
3 times, yes.
Three times usually.
And he did ask 3 times,
Yep.
at least 3 times.
And then he said at the end, "Okay, I'll go. You know our ways. I'll go bring the wine." So
Gotcha.
then it's fine to have it. You just gotta do the initial.
Mm-hmm.
No worry. They're fine folk. They're just life on the road can be hard for some. You do what you can to survive.
That's just gonna get a shrug response, like, I get it. Still doesn't
Don't
understand the wine bit, but gets
Don't
the
worry.
survival bit.
There'll be much wine and merriment before we get to sleep, I'm sure.
just instantly like, nice.
Like I said, they are fine folk. And I think I've run across them once or twice before. I know you have, and he looks to Grayson.
Mm-hmm.
Would
Yeah, the
a
two
I
history
didn't know to deny.
would a history bring anything, history check or something, bring anything up from Jasnah? Like maybe she heard from her father because he traveled a lot.
Yeah, sure.
Roll.
What were the name of these people? Of their
16 plus a lot. Hold on.
The Aasimar.
The Dimaru.
23.
It's in NPCs for how to spell it, as well as all their. Yeah, you've definitely heard of them. With 23, your dad has definitely
Probably
met
been friends with them.
Your dad has definitely been friends with these groups, and he's told you basically the same information that Grayson kind of quickly explained. With the additional fact that most of the tales of them being pickpockets and thieves are vastly wrong and simply made up by people because they don't like people who are constantly traveling. Most people find them off-putting for some reason, but in all truth, they are very good and they're very friendly people, as you can see, as they've, without even knowing who you were, just invited you into their camp to stay.
Are these people like, do they travel within this continent?
Are you asking everyone?
They
Well, I'm asking because I don't know if I should bother with the history.
There are groups of these people all over, and their caravans travel all over the world.
In that case, may I roll a history?
Sure. I just said Platt and Grayson originally because they spend the most time on the road.
Yeah, that makes sense.
To be
Roll
fair,
that as well.
Sure.
14.
18.
Oh wait, history. I don't know if I added anything. I don't think I do. Oh no. 15 then, because +1.
Anyone who got above a 15 would know this general information about them. Well,
fair.
20 and above would know the truth. 15 and up would only know the rumors.
Amavasya is just like, my people.
To be fair, you and me are practically kin to them. And he's still looking at Grayson. With the amount we've traveled, the amount of time we spend on the road.
That's fair.
just my father
Yeah,
has
but-
always spoken highly of the Aasimar. He's
I
known.
think once as a kid, I might have debated joining him. And Grayson's got like, kind of like looking up, scratching at his beard, like, shit, was that a thing? Thinking.
Yeah, they are very much like actors and whatnots, and they put on performances wherever they travel to.
The kind souls. Very mistreated.
Doran comes up with a number of bottles of different wines and starts handing them out. Please enjoy yourselves. Tonight you rest soundly with us. Welcome to the family.
Thank you kindly.
Appreciated.
Is just like eyeballing Grayson and Platt for the go ahead.
Platt will
After a
start
nice
drinking.
break from the road.
Just all of a sudden just downs it.
Oh,
It's an entire bottle.
have we still
was-
got... Grayson will like look towards Amavasya and kind of like wave his hand. Do we still have the implying if she
The
or
indeed.
if they want to bring it out or not, leaving it up to them.
Just squints.
While they're chugging.
Must have run
Oh,
out.
sorry.
then.
If it's an actual bottle,
Yeah,
my
it's a
mind just
bottle.
instantly went to like glass. They're gonna have a responsible amount. Considering that you
Put
guys
it
are
to-
young.
And Vasya puts the bottle into their mouth and just tilts their head back, and we watch the bottle slowly empty.
Pretty much.
Glug,
like
glug,
that
glug.
happens like in like 3 increments.
Yeah, he's brought out 4 bottles for the lot of you to share for the present. And he kind of sits down with a lot of you. So, where are all of you heading? If you don't mind my asking.
We're making our way up to Scenaria City at present. Gotta
We just left.
hopefully not for a big reason or a bad one. That is.
He just kind of gives a sad smile and a bit of a shrug. We can't exactly stay any one place for too long, and Scenaria, with our general reputation, is not the
Not
best
the most welcoming
image for
bunch, no.
us. Oh gods, no. But we like to find our way out. Wayrest is definitely a much more hospitable town for us. But we actually are planning on heading south, and like we've done the Scenaria, we've gone through, gone past the Chattery in Sen, done Wadron once. There are good people there, but we want to try some of the southern lands and try and head down to Modai and Siura and even the great big Alatira. You know, try
Has
somewhere else.
Grayson been around those parts? Because like he's traveled most of the continent, but I don't know if he's.
I'd say.
But would it be reasonable to say if his goal was to travel the continent, he probably would have gone down there at some point in his life? Or...
I'd say with the backstory that you gave me, you've definitely been through some of the more upper areas. Like you've
or northeast,
been-
definitely. But
yeah, northeast. Like you've been through a number of tribes in Imor. You kind of skirted through a bit of Friaku, but they're kind of constantly fighting wars between different barbarian tribes. So you kind of avoided
stayed away.
that. I just saw what somebody did to that one city in the south, in Alatira. You've definitely traveled throughout Wadron. A bit of Alatira, but you haven't really been to Siora, Modai, Gandu. You haven't really been to over there. You've done some Scenaria. You tried to avoid Scenaria City, though, because you've heard the rumors about that place, so
Mhm.
generally a good place to avoid.
All right. As so shoot, Jarus, right? Was his name or
Orryn.
Jordan? Sorry. The as Jordan like brings up their desire to travel south, Grayson will kind of relate to that. And just But all across this continent for the most part, but unfortunately, haven't made my way down there yet. Would have given you some places to visit, but elsewhere.
No worries. We like to blaze our own trail, as they say.
There's no better way to do it.
He kind of looks over to the rest of the troop and just kind of smiles, looking over the family. No, there isn't.
Not as easy to do when you're the postman. Sometimes envy off.
That is true. So, what brings you all to Sonaria City? Hopefully, just passing through.
Like I said, it's hard to go on your own when you're the postman. I got some letters to deliver.
Family in the area.
Planning on passing through. Trying to finish something my father started. You may have met him once or twice. He's always spoken very highly of the Adimaru. His name is Tashik Elhokar. He was a performer himself.
Before you even finish that, his smile just goes really wide. You're Tasha's little girl. Oh my god. He kind of gets up and goes over to give you a big hug.
He's like, huh?
He told us we've met him a number of times on the road. He would tell us stories about his precious little girl back home.
Yeah.
Or it feels like you're part of the family.
Same. In a way, I've heard many stories. Whenever he would come home, he'd have a lot to say about a great many things. And like I said, he always had fond memories of spending time with you.
Yes, he was a good man. How's he doing?
He's settling down finally. My mother's finally convinced him to stay home, at least for a time. So
That sounds like her.
I've picked up where he left off.
So he sits back down after a very, very long hug. So you're dungeon diving and looking for the places of old now.
That's the plan, yes.
So what's your first big score you plan?
The barrow.
Can I
Just
roll a history check on that?
On the barrel?
Yeah.
Given
Is that like a thing or?
The Black Barrow, I think it's called.
Oh, if
You
that's
can
a place.
Yes.
Okay.
it is a place.
Yeah, then I
I'm
definitely.
gonna say you would not know this given what you've told me about your background.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, you have no idea.
Thus
Anybody-
me asking if I can roll a history check on it.
Anybody else can feel free to roll about the barrow.
Pretty
History.
sure the rest of us already have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Grayson's
Right.
already learned as much as he could, right? If I remember
Yeah.
correctly.
Right. Yeah.
By both his knowledge
kinda-
and other.
He kind of sits down, the smile slightly fading. Well, that's it's a dangerous spot to be going, especially nowadays.
Nowadays?
That's part of the reason we're heading south.
So you know about it.
Yeah, everyone's heard of the barrow, especially us. I mean, it's a story, and our livelihood revolves around stories and making plays and whatnot. But just bad tidings from the north. Large groups of how do I put them? The more monstrous races, the goblins, the orcs, the bugbears, most of which come from Calador. Something's brewing in that part of the world, near the barrow. we don't really want to be around for whatever happens with that. So plan on heading as far south as we can to avoid any ill winds blowing, as they say.
Fair enough.
So he looks you right in the eyes, Jasnah. Do be careful and possibly rethink your decision to go there right this second. It's not a hospitable place right now. Well, Kaldor really isn't at the best of times, but
I'll take it under consideration.
Jasnah, give me an insight check.
Let me see what that is. Insight. 10 total.
Okay. From what you can tell, he's like, you're not used to reading humans' faces. You're more used to Dragonborn, but especially given your upbringing. But from what you can tell, he's being earnest about this, and he really wants to make sure that you are safe, to considering his friendship. With your father. But enough doom and gloom. Tonight we're celebrating friends reuniting and new friends being made. Cheers! And he raises a glass.
I'll drink to that.
The others at the other fire raise their glasses as well, and you hear a cheers from the opening of the wagons where Sean and Craig are standing. After another... Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was wondering, do the kids look like kids? Like are they little? Or do they appear like more teenagers?
They definitely look more like kids. Are you being overt about kind of staring at the kids currently?
Well, no. When he introduced, I would have looked.
Oh yeah. He would have mentioned. They're actually twins. They are both 8.
So tell me, Orryn.
Yeah. Amavasya?
Can your kids read?
More or less. They're not too fond of the studies. They'd rather be doing their own thing, but we're trying to teach them.
And they'll just all of a sudden like take another chug of the wine and then like hold the bottle between their legs and like start digging around their bag and just poof and pull out one of the children's books, the children adventuring books, and will hand it over to Orryn.
He kind of takes it and confused and kind of looks at the title and are you sure about this? I mean, we have other stories, and well, we're kind of a collector of stories here. So, are you quite sure about this? I mean, we have more than enough to keep them entertained.
Consider it a friendly gift to a new friendship.
Well, in that case, he'll put the book down and he'll quickly get up and kind of half jog over to one of the wagons, see him jump in, and a few minutes later he jumps back out and quickly runs back over. I knew I had it. And he hands over a book in kind. It's one of our original works. We try to collect stories from around where we travel, so I thought this might be interesting for you.
My eyes are just gonna like light up and like extendo pause.
He smiles as he hands it over. Kindness should always be repaid.
Also, question. What language is it written in?
Common.
Okay, cool. You say an original? Well, this is.
Well, it's not my greatest penmanship, but you know.
This is exactly the sort of thing I look for. And we'll just like start to thumb through the pages.
He gives a very formal court bow, and Jasnah, you could definitely tell, like, this is a very professional, like, actual court bow.
Practiced.
Indeed.
I mean,
It is a pleasure.
Platt also notices.
Yes, Platt would also notice. But yeah. After another half hour, the food is now ready, and everyone joins together, including Sean. Craig stays out, keeping a watch for now. But everyone comes together. The parents have to try and settle down the kids as the two of them do approach the lot of you. And they do as kids do.
How freaked out are they by giant walking turtle?
Giant
Oddly
cat,
enough,
yeah,
they are
weird.
not freaked out at all. They seem more curious about the two of you and kind of try and jump up and try and sit on your laps. Try and just are constantly asking questions like, "Where are you from? You're
I pick
big."
one of the kids up and just put him on the shell.
Well, that
I'll
would be
happily
Brandon.
I'll pick up the other one and just like instantly Amavasya like older sibling mode activates.
That would be M the daughter with Bran on the total shell. She's like, "Oh my god, you're so soft! How do you have such nice fur? That's so cool!" And Bran is like, "Oh my god, you live inside this thing? It's so hard and big. How are you able to move around? You must be like strong as a giant. It must be so heavy. Oh my god."
Here, watch this. And I just lower myself down and vanish into the shell.
He kind of crawls down and tries to poke his head in where your head went. How'd you do that? That's so cool!
My
Oh my
people are
God.
mobile homes. And I slowly pull out, and as I pull out, I have the bow.
Oh my god, you had that in there? How is that? Oh my god!
You said there was a knife thrower, right?
Yeah.
Is
He's
there a
doing
knife? Oh,
meeting
is
with
there a
everyone else.
target board?
Not currently set up. It appears he was practicing his juggling with M.
Platt is getting just drunk enough to set arrows on fire and shoot them at things, so I'll keep that in mind.
Noted. Amavasya is just gonna like dangle their tail and just kind of like what kind of like what you would do for an infant in a mobile. And we'll just kind of like play like that and be like, Say, would
Yeah,
you like to
the
meet my friend?
Oh my god, are they as fluffy as you are? And like she's like just burrowing into you, just rubbing up against the fur. She's a kid. She's just like, oh my god, so furry. I love it.
Platt will lift his head up and stand up out of the shell. Oi! Philly, come here!
She pokes out of one of the holes in your shell.
And he takes her and he places it on the kid's head.
She just like tongue sticks out of head, like
Oh
flattens
my-
on his head.
It looks like he's trying to like look up at Philly, but he's on his head, and then he's like, and then he goes and picks up Philly from his head if Philly allows.
She'll allow it and like act all super like cute and fluffy, and then like if the kid looks away for half a second, throw like a real like a look at Platt like, you son of a bitch.
The kid's like holding Philly out, looking at it like at arm's length. Oh
I
my
lean
god,
down
you're
to
so colorful.
I lean
It's
down
so
to Philly and I
cool.
go, they're young. They know how to do some pranking.
Mo, after like sitting there and listening to basically nothing for minutes, like he was zoned out listening to basically just the sound of nature, is going to cast Detect Magic.
Okay, 30-foot range.
And he'll just wander around the camp.
Definitely detect some magic items on your associates that you came with.
You would see on Jasnah that like under her shirt, like she's wearing some sort of locket that's giving, or like a pendant sort of thing that's giving off magic.
Platt's rapier is also giving off an aura.
And the staff, like, actually, that'd probably be in Grayson's cart.
Which is inside the area.
Holy shit, you guys are packing.
Orryn has
Orryn
the book.
has bag of holding, and does his spell? Oh, and his spell book. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
your
think that's it.
enduring spellbook.
I don't know if the ring shows up.
Yeah, it would.
It was okay.
Yeah. Aside from that, you go around the carts and you get to the one that Orryn had run into before, and you definitely do feel something magical in there.
Mo will, not concerned with societal's terms of personal space or privacy, is just going to stick his head in and try to figure out what it is.
I was gonna also finish. Also
I'm
on,
sorry.
No worries. Also on the knife drawer, he appears to have some bracers on his arms that are also magic. But yeah, you stick your head in. It looks to be like it's filled with a number of different items and a lot of trunks and whatnot. You start to try and head in, and then you get to kind of tap on the shoulder. It's like, and you look over and you see Deetra smiling up at you. Excuse me, that's kind of personal lodgings. Do you mind, Mr.
Yeah.
Mo?
Your personal lodging?
Yes, it's our home.
Oh,
Sorts.
my entire tribe lived in one longhouse.
I've heard furbolgs do that. Well, this is kind of our house, but it moves and is on wheels.
Huh, neato. Can I ask you something?
Yes, what's this?
What is the magical thing in the cart?
Kind of raises an eyebrow and. Why do you need to know that?
Oh, because I'm just curious about what is actually going on with magic. You know, I met a talking squirrel in the forest who gave me magic. His name is Wazel. My friends told me that was important to say, and that I died.
I don't think we said that part, but
I don't think we said that part. Platt, by the
Well,
way,
that's-
is doing the thing where he's lowering his head, and then Philly's head is popping out of the shell, and then Philly's lowering their head, and Platt's head is popping out of the shell.
The kid is definitely clapping along, and even M is like looking over while still sitting on Amavasya's lap and is clapping along with it, all
And
snuggling up.
Amavasya is like teaching them what is a proper grab to hold a small creature. It is like will like show the test strength on the kid's hand before like introducing Dusk.
Okay, duly noted. For a second, I blanked on where we were with Mo's shenanigans. She kind of gives you a. She gives them a genuine smile. Well, it's not the craziest story I've heard. But when others, you haven't gotten out of your regular home much, have you?
Well, I fell asleep, and then my entire village was gone. And then I met the squirrel, and then I was in a velvet room with a guy that kind of looks like a penguin. And I explored that space a lot. And then both him and my god directed me to meet up with my friends. And then we killed some goblins, and now I am here.
I never heard Igor referred to as looking like a penguin, and now I'll never be able to unsee it.
He does look like a penguin.
Seriously? You've never thought of that?
I've never thought of that.
Well, welcome to Penguin Igor.
Fuck.
Anywho, she's like smiling and nodding along with your entire story, Mo. And she kind of grabs your hand, like holds your hand and starts kind of guiding you back to the circle where everyone is as you're saying all this. And she's like smiling and nodding along. It's like, no, you should definitely tell my husband all about this. Might even write a new ballad or a new play about it. He loves doing such things. Though I mostly help with making things, well, make sense. He's very... Well, he gets scatterbrained when he makes new pieces. But you should tell him, but to let you know about some things so your friends don't have to. It is very impolite to enter other people's homes without first getting an invitation or asking to enter them first. And these wagons are our homes. So before you enter any of them, please do ask beforehand.
You know,
Much appreciated.
that explains a lot. Earlier they were asking me why I just got into their wagon and fell asleep, and I was super confused.
She leads you and has you sit down on a stump and just kind of holds your hand in two hands and gives it a little pat and like, yes. So before you enter anyone's home, please do ask before you can.
Okay, Mo will stand back up and walk towards the juggler.
Okay. He's currently eating right now and just kind of smiling, watching M being taught how to hold this adorable little rat.
Mo is just going to sit down, like look at his bracers and be like, "What do those do?"
He's kind of got a mouthful of food and just and he kind of lifts up his beard and kind of pats his mouth down with it. It goes like to just beyond his knees.
Oh, I will also compliment his beard. Like, so my previous statement probably would have been like, "You have a very nice beard. Also, what do those do?"
He'll smile at you. He's like, well, thanks. And now that you're looking at the beard more closely, it's like not like all scraggly. It actually looks to be well kept and is actually braided down. Some parts are left open, more open, and kind of like bobbed. And I don't know how to describe beards being braided like hair, kind of.
Yeah.
But it is glorious and is well kept. And you look a bit closer, and it does appear to have oil in it. Well, thank you, first off, for the beard. Secondly, I didn't realize you noticed these. And you look a bit closely, and there appear to be, like, throwing daggers in each of them. Yeah, I got these a while back for winning a tournament.
Huh.
Sorry, I burp. Yeah, they let me throw more daggers, basically. And
Does
kind of an infinite supply of them.
oh, does that help you with juggling?
Not particularly, but when I do my knife throwing, it definitely makes things a lot easier. Especially on maintenance of the knives, since, well, they're magic and they disappear after they hit their target.
Oh, that's neato.
Yeah, they're
Have
quite
you-
interesting. Do you want to see an example?
That it kid would you? Is that impolite?
He kind of smiles. No, it's quite all right.
Brand new morality. Oh God.
Then I would love to see it.
All right, let me just finish this amazing stew, and then I'll set up the targets for you. Is that all right?
Oh yeah. So is this like a communal stew?
Yeah,
Or is this
like there were bowls handed off to everyone.
Oh, okay. Then yeah. I will sit with him and eat this stew.
Very good.
While eating the stew, though, he is completely out of everything else. His only focus is on the stew.
Orryn will introduce himself to the leader as a wizard and ask if they have any other wizards in the family.
Not to my knowledge. I mean, we're simple folk. I can conjure a few things, but I'm not exactly a wizard. But keep that between us, because I'd rather not be forced into one of the schools. And you would know that anyone who shows any kind of magical talent is normally forced into one of the wizard schools.
Gotcha.
Question about that.
Yeah.
Now, is that worldwide? Everybody then gets ported like to this continent to go to one of those schools?
No, that would just be this continent. In Ladesh, they have the people are free to use magic as they wish. There are schools for training, but it is not forced. On the Isles of Seth, well, if you show magical aptitude, you sleep with the fishes. But on the continent,
Oh shit.
everywhere other than, well, Calador has their own thing, which you guys wouldn't really know unless you roll a history check. Same with Friaku and Imor. But Elatira, Modai, Gandu, Sanaria, Wadrin, and Osen, they all have their. They all go to the schools if they're. And it's very segregated schools. Like, there are a number of different male schools, and then the one female school in Pistachi called the Chantry.
Okay. It's. Oh wait. Is he? Yeah, because Orryn addressed. Sorry, I'm trying to like back up where I was.
No worries.
So that's really quite odd. It's such a weird practice to be forced somewhere for magical capabilities. It's not like that where I'm from.
Where are you from then?
Ladesh.
Huh. We've never been there. Well, some of the family probably has made it there at some point, but I'm sorry. All we know about Ladesh is the hot sands and the silk trade.
Well, that is certainly a large part of it.
Well, here on, I'm not sure if your friends have explained it to you, but here on the continent, most of the countries, well, the mages had to sign an accord with Alatea, which is the largest military power in these lands other than Calador, and they kind of have their own thing that no one really wants to be a part of. But to end the war between mages and Alatea, there was an accord. Mages could not procreate with other mages as to build an army of magical users. And Alatea would promise to defend all of their schools with their military might. That's the basic of it. So that's why there are schools that anyone who has the talent is sent to.
I see. Still sounds odd. And we'll just kind of giggle and take another sip of the drink.
Fair enough. He turns back to Orryn and gives him a smile, so puts a little finger to his lips. So, mum's the word on the magic side.
He'll just give a nod.
Has Orryn been drinking at all?
He's still, I mean, he hasn't been avoiding it, but he's probably still on his first cup.
he does notice this. He's quite perceptive, and don't please drink. There's we're having a celebration.
He'll visibly take a sip and then go back to the same rate he was going at before.
He'll just kind of shrug and smile. After another 10 minutes of everyone eating and enjoying the very good stool, everyone who had some, it was spot on. Not too spicy, but with enough zing to get you there. But after a little while, the knife thrower kind of gets up, Forrest, and he heads over to a different cart, and after a moment brings out 4 targets on little stands. sets them up not in front of one of the carts, but through one of the open spaces, just in case. It's like, all right, sorry, I didn't catch your name. And he's talking
Me?
about, yeah.
Oh, I'm Mo.
Oh, good to meet you, Mo. I'm Horace. And these
You're a horse?
Horace.
Yeah, that's what I said.
H-O-R-E-S. Horace.
No, I think it's H-O-R-E-S.
404 error 404 DM not found.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you're giving this dyslexic DM a headache. He's
That
going
was
to.
in Mo. Like,
I
Mo
know.
said that.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm just fucking with you. Kind of. You just kind of. All right. You're definitely an interesting one, but well, here are my bracers of flying daggers. And he turns and, in 2 quick hand motions, 4 daggers flow out, hitting each of the targets dead center.
Well, that's pretty neat.
And you saw before there, he didn't have any daggers in his hands. As he threw, they appeared.
I can do this, and Mo will cast Guiding Bolt at one of the targets.
You shoot your guiding bolt, and it flies between the middle 2 and hits a tree. Wait, no tree. You're in the middle of a field, and it just kind of goes into the field of wheat, and kind of blinks out at your maximum range of 120 feet. And it's like, well,
It's a work in progress.
That's definitely
22 to
different.
hit as an arrow comes flying and just hits one of the targets.
Roll the hit.
22.
All right, yeah, you definitely hit one of the targets. Like, Jesus. Or, well, he wouldn't say Jesus, but
Mo's going to look at his hands. What have I done?
warn us before you make a shot.
Grayson kind of swats at Platt like, hey.
We do
I
have
also had a
safety
drink.
standards here. I mean,
OSHA safety standards.
well, there's nobody in this direction. Everyone's back here. We're not shooting past people. You know, we're performers, but we have our safety standards, so we don't hit anyone by accident. I mean, I'm pretty good, but shit happens. I've missed the target before.
I missed it just now.
Well, with practice, you'll get there.
Probably not. I'm not really good at stuff.
To be fair, Platt would have been standing off to the side of everyone. Because he heard targets and shifted to where they would be.
You do still have a child like crawling on your back and whatnot, asking you questions.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just about portals in general.
If Platt stops focusing on the kid to like shoot the arrow and the kid still asks questions, Philly will start making up random bullshit about turtles to answer his questions.
He doesn't stop speaking. The targets go out. He sees the 3 daggers. He sees the 4 daggers go out. He reaches into his shell and while it's still talking, pulls the arrow out, draws it, and fires it before the kid can say anything else.
Fair enough.
After the shootings and the magicals, Mo will stop to ask this man, have you ever heard of a man made of fire?
Man made of fire?
Well, I guess he's not really a man, but he's just a god who appeared like a man and then stabbed me.
That's not really my expertise. I'd talk with Yorn. He's kind of the story man. He knows a lot about. Well, a lot.
Thank you. Now, they told me that goods and services in the civil world is paid for in shiny metals. So here you go. And Mo is going to hand him 15 gold.
Mo reaches out to hand him the gold, but he does not take it. Come on, you're part of the family, at least for tonight. This was on the house.
No, Mo doesn't understand the value of the dollar.
Well, that's the thing. To Mo, there is no value to shiny metals.
Oh no.
Fair.
Oh no.
We're bringing him to
Mo.
a city. Oh no.
A city of thieves, cutthroats, swindlers, and just
Oh,
the worst
he's
of the
gonna
worst.
die.
He's gonna be on baby leash.
If Mo dies, Mo dies. It just happens.
If I die, I die.
No
Oh,
money,
people,
no
you're here.
problem.
Good.
If I die, I might maybe come back from a talking squirrel. I don't know how the rules work yet. Doesn't really roll off the tongue like the other ones, though.
Moving on.
Yes.
Yes, that was a cow pun.
Mo
Ev-
would, just like, we don't have to get to this now, but Mo would go up to Orryn, I think his name was? The story guy? Yeah.
Oh.
Or no, sorry, that's
Yorn.
Wizard.
Yorn?
Yorn.
Yorn.
Okay.
It's amazing how those two names on paper look so different.
I spelled that wrong.
You're in a lot of trouble.
Zach,
Oh,
I might
now
have to
Riffin's
pick up
here.
your thing.
What was that?
In Zach's game, whenever somebody makes a pun, everybody else takes a D4, and that person gets
Inspiration.
inspiration.
Yeah, that's because I have a higher level campaign. That could kill someone right now. We have a wizard in this party.
Fair enough.
The wizard just sitting around the campfire. Oh god, please stop making puns. Blood is pouring out of his mouth.
But yeah, you approach Orryn.
If anybody else wants to do stuff.
To be fair, the wizard has an 18 con right now.
Oh my god.
Oh, fuck.
I have
Well,
I did take resilient this level, so
I took.
and gnomes have +2 con, so
oh, nice.
I did not realize Orryn was a gnome either.
a +1 con. He's a deep gnome.
I want that to be canon that Mo just thought that Orryn was a very small human.
A very small dark. Yep.
It's okay. Out of character, I've decided that Mo is still unsure if this talking cat is a god or not.
I can't even imagine what he thinks of the turtle that can
How
create
tall
the
is Mo
fireworks.
again?
Mo?
Yeah, how tall is Mo?
He stands about 10'9".
10'9".
Furbolgs are quite large creatures, yeah.
He is well over 3 times Orryn's height.
Yeah.
Is that even possible to erase?
I googled
I
it,
thought I
and they
maxed
said
out
they were from like
Rustlins at 7.5.
I think they said, oh, maybe if there's like a character rule, but like just straight Googling Furbolgs, they said like, I think it was like 10'6" to 11 feet.
Yeah, this is
Holy shit, I don't think so.
7 to 8 feet. Yeah, Only
Okay.
7 to 8 feet.
7 to 8 feet tall.
Then then let's do 7'5".
Hey.
He left
That
the
makes
woods
a
and shrunk
lot
for some
more
reason.
sense.
Oh, yeah, that's Rustin's height. That makes sense.
That is well into the
I
large
know
like,
why.
creature size.
I know why. Because the Forgotten Realms wiki has them listed at 11 feet tall.
Yes, and that is where I got my information because I don't know any of the books.
why.
Well, they were originally like really huge, but they shrank them down for stupid reasons.
For reasons that they are not actually giants.
Yeah,
Well,
when people
why
can
can't they
put-
be
Well,
giants?
For
We should
reasons
be able
that
to
they
play
wanted to make
pixies,
them
too.
player characters, I think.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
still.
I just want to be a giant pixie.
Pretty much.
It also has them listed as knowing Elven as a language off the bat, and they don't. So this is dated.
Oh, do I need to get rid of Elven as one of my languages?
I think you
No,
just know
no.
Furba. I think you just know.
No, he knows Common,
No,
Elvish,
common,
and
elvish,
Giant.
and giant. Yeah.
And Sylvan, because I got to choose one at the beginning. For far
Moving
travel.
past that, besides Mo going and talking
We
about
just watch
people,
Mo shrink.
what is everybody else doing?
Jasnah's listening to the music and just kind of like to herself, just like snapping her fingers in intricate patterns to the beat of the music, like only like half paying attention to it.
Orryn has dozed off.
If at any
Yeah.
point a song Grayson knows starts coming on, he'll attempt to sing along.
They will periodically ask for requests, and after like the meal is done, the dwarf and the elf go back to playing and singing, as well as the green-scaled dragonborn comes in and starts playing his shawm, while Dietra pulls out a fiddle and begins playing as Orryn collects bowls and begins cleaning up from the meal.
Amavasya is gonna, in the proper older sibling fashion of redirect the child back to their parent. We'll do that, and then we'll notice Jasnah snapping, and we'll get up, head over, and extend a paw. Would you care to dance?
I've never danced before.
Well, there's always a
Real?
first time for everything.
Is someone gonna say something?
But just is like, for real?
Come on, Platt, we know some good dancing songs.
She'll take Amavasya's hand and get yanked up.
When you tossed the child down, she went and started collecting bowls as well as for her father. And start,
Yes,
like,
just
same
for
with
all the
Bran.
child.
Basically, the two kids are helping their dad clean everything up for dinner and making sure everything's clean and everything well. Everyone else seems to be partying except for Corin, who's still on watch currently. Although one of the kids did run off and bring him a bowl, so he is fed. Merton is
bowl?
passed out as well, just laying up
So
against
good
one
at
of the
that.
carts. Yes, he was so quiet. Everyone forgot he was there, including the
He just-
Overlord God.
He just narcolepsied in the back of the cart.
Basic, yeah, we're gonna have that. He is narcolepsing in the cart.
I legit want that to
Forgetting
be
about him.
canon that he's a narcoleptic.
Middle of combat. Don't worry, I'll protect.
Dude, you're gonna make me roll a D100 now every turn in combat.
Do it.
Do it.
I'm going to. I'm going
Yeah.
to.
Yeah. What have we
We're
done?
ready.
The players do something terrible for us. I will.
Okay.
Do something
I'm okay.
destructive that could potentially get us killed. Sure.
Hey, I want
Yeah,
everyone to be
flavor.
having fun, and that sounds like fun to me.
Oh yeah.
So Platt has no reference to like intercontinent music because he grew up on sea shanties and it's all he really knows.
Do you ask to see if they know how to play it?
Knowing that oh god, blank name, brain, please
Gameroo?
help. Jasnah.
Grayson?
Mhm.
Oh, that one.
Why did I forget the name Jasnah all of a sudden? No, hearing that Jasnah has never danced before, he's like, all right, we gotta fix this. And he's just looking at Grayson.
Oh yeah, we do.
Are you two gonna start dancing?
Grayson's gonna start singing something with a good beat.
Yeah, I was gonna do the same thing.
The performers cue into what you guys are starting to sing, and much better voice comes out. A professional voice starts to sing.
Grayson's
the
not
music-
terrible at singing.
Platt's bad. He tries. It sucks because that accent, I can't sing in that accent really well.
You know,
So
Jasnah
it
can probably sing. She's just never really tried.
It was on this Monday morning when the day became fine. The harbour gates of Earl, the boys still have a time. Just before the sailor and the gangway from the pier, I heard some fella haul my wife for board as a volunteer. Oh me, oh my, I think I'm gonna die. Oh me, oh my, I think I'm gonna die. Oh me, oh my, I heard me OSA. Upon the balls upon the harbour bay. And he just starts clapping and singing and being an asshole.
I think that deserves some applause.
That
And
is
an
so hard to
inspiration.
sing in that accent.
That's more than
Keep
an
going,
accent.
Dwarvish.
That's a whole identity.
Yeah, that's more than an accent.
I kept slipping into Dwarvish, and it's really hard to not do that when you're singing a song that is that kind of pacing.
Hey, no worries. The Dumaru are clapping. Well, the ones who can clap, the rest are playing and continue the song for you.
Yeah.
And it's a very basic, like, kickback step that Platt is doing as he's singing. He's kind of bouncing. It's really fun to watch this. Like, it's so weird. As heavy and as large as Platt is, when he starts to, like, bounce around and really move, he's super agile, but he's massive.
I just like to think of like Waddle Dee and Waddle Dum in the like the bouncing but still agile aspect.
Everyone is smiling, everyone's enjoying this, and then the music kind of dies down for a moment, and the elf kind of pipes up, and now, of course, for the oldest song in the world. Everyone knows a verse, at least somewhere. Music begins to pick up, and I don't actually have this music tied because I only have it in a music video, but those of you who know what book this is from, you should know.
There's an actual
And
song
Tinker
version
Tanner
of it?
begins to play.
Oh no.
There are actual song verses of it.
Wait, what is it?
Tinker
Tinker
Tanner.
Tanner. The oldest song in the world in many universes.
Yep.
Including the real one?
Let me see. I might be able to actually play it on stream. Cheating. Maybe.
Oh.
As they begin to play, all of you recognize this song. It is very well known, and all of you know at least some verses at some point. Because this song is universally known all around the world, and there are many, like nobody knows every verse.
Well, Tinker Tanner.
Did even Mo know this song?
It has been sung in your tribe before. Yes.
Interesting.
It is a very old song, and everybody knows it. Tinker Tanner plays. It is very good dancing music. And
Yasna
everyone
will
is
definitely
encouraged.
try.
Sure, give
to
me
do
a
the dance.
performance check. Why not?
Okay, hold up.
Are we all giving her aid at this moment? Because we're all trying to get her to dance. Because most
Yes.
of us are drunk.
I'd say Amavasya is helping the most, so you can roll at advantage.
I mean, considering we're dancing together, yeah, that makes sense.
So she rolls a 24 with, with
Oh,
the advantage.
damn.
Bards.
You weren't expecting this, Amavasya, but Jasnah takes the lead even after like a few quick steps.
She picks up on it quickly.
She's a natural.
Just like tries to play it cool, like don't get swept away.
Yeah, basically, you gotta be careful.
This is when I wish performance was either tied to charisma or dex.
Sorry.
Yeah, she still's got the performance. Oh.
Bards.
And I really want to play that all bard campaign.
Oh, dude. Zach, I did send you the list of different band names, right?
Yes.
The D&D band names.
I need to look at it. It was great.
Anywho, was there anything else you all wanted to do during this evening, as it is starting to get late for the Maru?
I was gonna go to the story guy, and because everybody that I talked to told me to go talk to him, so I was gonna go talk to him and ask him about the magic within his cart.
He kind of turns to you. Oh, hey there, Mo. He just finished putting the large pots that dinner was cooked in back into his cart. What can I do for you?
Can I ask you about the magic in your cart?
Oh, he looks kind of surprised. You picked up on that, did you?
I did. Was that impolite?
He kind of not necessarily impolite, just a bit surprising. Well, it might have been a little impolite to simply come up and ask, but well, I think you should talk to your wizardry friend, the gnome who is he's passed out. You should probably talk to him in the morning. But yes, I do have some magic in there. Would you like to see?
That would be delightful.
He kind of smiles and, all right, hold on a moment.
I feel like this is about to be like a you get what you fucking deserve kind of moment. He just comes out with like a magic sword and stabs me.
Here, hold this.
Here, hold this stick. I'm just gonna light the end of it. It's dynamite.
I have to find that.
He kind of hops back out after a moment, and he is holding what looks to be a very well-crafted lute. And he puts what looks to be a case down. This has been an old friend of mine, let's say. And he begins to play. And it... I just saw the video, and I've seen that enough times. It is... He begins to play, and the rest of the camp kind of starts to quiet down as he begins to play. And... it is very quiet but nice. Is that not the right one? Oh yeah, this is the right one. He kind of pulls up one of the larger logs and just kind of slings the knee over one of the legs and starts playing. And the music is enchanting. It just makes everyone feel calm, relaxed, peaceful.
Oh, sorry.
His eyes are closed and just kind of head down. Even the children have started running around and just kind of came up and sitting at his feet listening. Go ahead.
Is this like calmness that seems to be affecting everybody magical?
No. Like, you still got your detect magic up. It lasts for 10 minutes. And you would have probably recast it. And
Oh no,
Yeah.
I can't focus on two things at once, so it's a concentration spell.
Oh yeah, I forgot you do that.
Yeah.
It does not feel magical. You feel it's just the music itself is very calming. If you want, you can let it take you into the calm, or you can resist if you wish, but you don't sense magic coming from it.
Another thing that Mo would like to wonder about, does this remind him of any like Fae-esque forest creatures like a satyr or other musically inclined creature?
Give me a nature check.
Nice.
You've got no idea. And all of you hear this. Like, the rest of the players kind of stopped and put their instruments down to kind of just listen to this. And it's just like, it's very different from the rest of the music that had been played, but it is very, very calming. Very
Orryn
relaxed.
begins to snore.
Does it seem like regular calming, or does it seem like oddly calming?
It's definitely. Give me an insight check.
Alrighty. You said insight?
Yeah.
9.
I mean, you're just feeling relaxed. You feel safe. You feel at home.
Are we high?
No.
No,
You're
yeah.
not high.
Yeah.
But after a little while, he'll stop and kind of look up to you, Mo. This is my precious loot. It has magic in it. But he just kind of looks down and strokes the string. Or the strings. It's calming for most. It enhances one such as myself, a bard. Humble as I am, it enhances my playing. Makes things easier to fall under persuasion if I were so inclined, but I prefer to use it in this manner. Simply to make music.
What was the instrument again?
A lute.
Mo is going to look at it very, like, intently analyzing it. Ask him this the same question about the due to fire, and also if they have any sick people that need attention.
The dudifier? What?
What? The dude of fire? The guy? Yeah.
The dudifier. He'll kind of look up to you and I've heard of many of different creatures made of fire. First off being fire elementals, but a man fully consumed of flame.
Well, there was like a fire there at the party, and then the fire, like all the other lights went out, and then that fire got dim, and then the guy popped out of the fire, and then he threw a sword at Weasel, and then I jumped in front of the sword and died.
Huh. Now that is an interesting story, and he puts down his loot and puts it back in the case, putting it back in his cart, and comes back with what looks to be a quill and a bunch of parchments, some wooden board so we can write on it. Now, please, if you don't mind, could you describe this to me again in as much detail as possible? This might become a very interesting ballad. Or maybe even a production. I haven't quite decided yet. Please go on. Explain this to me.
I would be delighted to. And so in the same way that Mo took, I think I said an hour and a half to describe his story to Igor, he's going to describe this story to Orryn, thank you. And
listening very intently, and will even stop you at times to ask for clarification or for you to give more details.
And yeah, so I would just kind of walk him through my village deciding to leave because civilization was getting too close, me falling asleep, waking up, and they are gone. Living a short period of time without them, meeting Weasel because I was sleeping under his tree.
Yeah, the whole story.
Yeah.
For the sake of brevity.
Yeah.
He will write everything down, and at this point, everyone else has kind of gone off to bed for the most part. Watch shifts has been changed. Was there anything else anyone wanted to do before turning in for the evening?
Amavasya is going to talk to the party.
Mm-hmm.
Orryn is asleep, and Mo is just actually talking to somebody who will listen to his full story.
So I'll talk to the others. Probably starting with Jasnah.
Mm-hmm.
And if other people over here, then other people over here, and that's chill too.
Grayson will be big bullying with whoever. So.
Word.
Maybe he's around.
Oh,
I think Platt's
right.
actually on his own right now.
On his what?
Suspicious.
On his own right now.
Oh. Okay.
I heard on his phone. And
That's what I heard.
What?
Look, he got an important text message.
Something in his shell is beeping.
Yeah, the only snail faster than him. Snail mail. But yes, you were talking with Amavasya, and Grayson is nearby.
Yeah. Oh, right. Sorry, we kind of left swiftly, this morning, so I couldn't bring it up, but, during my watch, We had a visitor? Oh, it's fucking rustling. My god, no, I gotta be Amavasya. Higher pitch. Goddamn.
Welcome, my child, to playing multiple characters in multiple campaigns.
It's so hard, man. Oh,
Try
God.
being a DM with a
Try-
thousand different
dear God.
voices.
Try being try being me on Friday nights when I do all of the voices for all of the NPCs, and they're all different.
Yeah, mine aren't that different because I'm terrible at it, but
Do you know how hard
Yeah.
it is to not
Voice
confuse
is tough.
sometimes this voice and Platt's voice, which is just a little deeper?
Both my
don't know.
characters are just oblivious to social situations.
It's true, both of them. Anywho, back to this game. We are currently playing, and people are currently maybe watching. Thank you, people who are. Why?
Right. So we left rather quickly, but we had a visitor during my watch, and obviously nothing happened because I would have woken you up if something were to happen.
Grayson just kind of raises an eyebrow.
But I had a really a thrilling game of chess with a nice individual of the name I fucking flipped the note page. Where is it? Woman, wait. Named Delilah. They oh right, the weirdest part probably. They seem to be a succubus.
Yeah, so just kind of like blinks, like, excuse me?
I was thinking more spit take.
Grayson
that
just
Grayson?
furrows his
That
brow
she's too
unhappily.
polite for spit takes, that's like the closest that she gets to a spit take. But essentially.
You what?
Oh, yeah. She, you see, she was there. Well, at first there was nothing. And then I turned around and she was right there. And she said, "Don't make a sound with her," and will gesture with a digit up to their mouth. And she just wanted to play game of chess.
Yasa kind of looks over at Grayson to see if he's just as like WTFing over this as like she is. Like,
Yeah.
is she like she's for a moment she's like, am I thinking of the right thing? Does that like why would you
Yeah,
let a fiend
Grayson
get close to anywhere close
shares
to
that
you
look.
or us?
Just Amavasya, you realize those are soul-sucking fiends, right?
Yes,
And
and
a bit of like a radiant light just kind of ambiently comes off of Grayson.
right. But you see, when I said that she was right there, I mean she was right there. There
That's when you
wasn't-
start yelling and waking us up. No one is supposed to get that close to us. Wasn't there a spell that was supposed to prevent that?
Yes, which is why I was a little thrown off.
If they wanted you dead or wanted your soul, it certainly would have had it if it got that close.
Pretty much what I was thinking.
They may have taken something else without your knowledge.
Just like pats.
Phrasing.
just like pat, check pockets.
Not something physical. But can't say I've ever heard of a succubus who just wanted to play a game of chess.
we'll just like shrug. First for everything.
That's odd, and I find hard to believe. No offense.
Did you find enjoyment in the game?
Oh, it was a very good game. We also both had a drink of the dragon's breath. She seemed to very much like that.
Grayson's just kind of like rubbing his forehead. In like just disbelief, like alright, Amavasya, well, it's good that nothing bad happened that time, but fiends, especially succubi, are nothing to just scoff at. If that happens, try to let somebody else know, even if discreetly. Just be careful. Make to be more than a game of chess next time.
Fair point. It is noted. And then, like, we'll also, like, just kind of mumble to themselves. Oh, I kind of want to play another game of chess, but no.
Okay. I'm noting that down now.
Yasna's gonna consult Grayson. Do you know if they could mark a person or choose a person? Could she be in trouble now? Again.
I certainly hope not. Would Grayson know enough about? I don't think he'd know much about them other than the fact that they are
Fiends are bad.
bad. Typically, they have a reputation for being, you know, just kind of evil and soul-sucky. But
What should we roll?
That would be Arcana check to see if they might have caused something.
fair. Oh boy. 13.
17.
Grayson, not really your specialty. 17? You've heard, or you know, kind of rumors. It is possible, like, demons are creatures unto themselves. Like, they do have their own wants and desires. They could have possibly marked them for later, but it is possible that they simply wanted to play a game of chess.
She
You're
doesn't
not
trust
100%
that.
sure.
She's like, it's possible, but she doesn't trust that. Especially, like, coming with their current track record of life choices that they've made in the past. Yasna's a bit wary, like, of the situation.
I could have Philly keep an extra eye on her just to be safe. Make sure nothing bad happens to him.
I would be appreciative.
Amavasya just like head tilt.
Yeah, and Philly will then like materialize by them and kind of like raise her little paw hoofs and like jab at the air, like, yeah, I'll get any no bad sucky bye.
Fuck you. Bye. It was right there. There. Well, Philly will now watch over Amavasya looking for a succubus.
Amavasya, you feel something, or actually, you just see Philly kind of flies over and perches on your shoulder and gives you a salute.
We'll salute back, and then we'll very seriously look at Philly, like full on locking of face globes.
Face
No.
globes.
Yeah, well, cause like I picture
now
Amavasya
on-
with just like really big eyes, so I'm just like face globes.
From now on, in this campaign, you cannot say eyes. They are now face globes.
All right.
Oh,
Look at the
God.
face globes on them.
Orbs.
So we'll lock
Orbs
face
of sight
globes with...
also can work.
All right. Well, and to Philly, just completely serious voice. Now, just a heads up. Pranks are very much fine with me. But if you mess with Dusk, you will not be living in any plane.
Philly kind of just smiles and is like, "Oh, don't worry. That wouldn't be fun, anyways."
All right. And just all smiles again.
And
I'll
Philly
kill
does.
you.
So,
And then Philly disappears. Just you still feel her on your shoulder though.
and with that, everyone beds down for an evening rest. The Dimaru go to their different, like, they don't actually sleep in their cars. They have tents on the inside. A couple of people stand watch. Seems to switch out every so often. So you guys don't need to worry about having your own watches unless you wish.
Platt will return to the group after like a couple hours.
Grayson would probably have been like setting up just whatever basic sleeping stuff.
There's
And
a
then-
tent that Platt has in the cart. He'd probably have returned with it.
So Grayson will like wave Platt over as he returns.
Actually, if anyone went by the carts, they would have found him. He was leaning against the side of it that is outside of the circle.
Would anyone have gone out there?
Yeah, I mean, at some point Grayson would have gone to go get like sleeping gear. Probably would have caught sight of him, just been like, what are you doing out here, Platt?"
He's just sitting and leaning against the cart. And he's got his eyes closed, and he's just slowly singing to himself. And he's got a pendant that you've probably seen him mess with a couple times. It's just like a necklace with an anchor on it.
Hmm.
Just thinking.
You want a thinking, buddy?
Maybe.
Grayson will kind of smile and grab like a blanket or something out of the cart and sit beside him. And just kind of stare at the night sky.
You know, my family hated my choice to go out on the roads. They accepted it just fine, but they hated the idea.
Because they loved you. Didn't want to see you gone.
It was because the roads are not what my people, my family do. We're all sailors by trade. All of us, fishermen, merchants, pirates, you name it. That's what my family did. Generations. I'm the first oddball to go towards land.
Do you regret that choice?
I don't know. I grew up. My dad took me out on the ship every chance he could get. I knew how to hold a fishing line before I could read. But there was always something about it. Just didn't feel like me, you know? Who knows? Maybe I'm just feeling homesick. It's been damn many years now.
Well, for what it means, I'm glad you made the choice you did. And you'll give him like a warm-hearted smile and kind of like gently elbow him.
Should take time to go home soon. Check on the folks, making sure no one died in a storm.
Your family's smarter than that.
You ain't met my brother. That boy was dumb as rocks when we were growing up.
Well, one day I'll have to.
Try to find us a way back soon enough.
Yeah, we'll have time after this whole affair is over.
Maybe. We keep saying we're gonna have time, and then something keeps biting us in the ass.
Well, that's just the way for travelers, ain't it?
Now we got these on the
That's fun.
savor a lot.
It's one way to describe them.
Of all the people we have picked up and have spent time with, this is by far the strangest.
It's most interesting, too. I think it's the most diverse cast we've ever had.
For sure.
Usually you're the strangest one in the party.
Yeah, it feels a little odd to be not the oddball anymore.
It's good, though. At least I
Yeah.
think so.
Keeps us in check.
Mhm.
Keeps us from doing something stupid.
Or gonna make us do something more stupid.
Well, that too. Inevitably. Considering where we're going, I think we've already done something stupid, Grayson.
It won't be the first time.
And hopefully it won't be the last.
Cheers to that.
Cheers, friend.
Grayson realizes neither of them have a drink.
Oh, Platt falls out of flask.
Oh, yeah.
Just reach into a part of the thing.
Well, you guys enjoy a nice evening nip before heading off to bed. Amavasya, you've drank like a bottle and a half at this point. Yeah, it's time for bed, and you just kind of pass out, snuggling with your bottle. Sorry, bottles.
I think I will go to bed now. Bam! Right there.
We'll
Yep.
just like pass out, but like still like kind of staring up at the sky next to Orryn.
That is strangely
Basically.
adorable.
And that is where we will end this evening's game, as you guys all have a nice long rest in the Adimaru's camp.
Nice.
I hope you all enjoyed. And thank you, anyone who's watching this on YouTube or Twitch or whatever. Thanks for joining us. And why?
Make sure to come back from Mo.
Before.
Night all.